Ms. Tyler.
Chairman Cruz, Ranking Member Hirono, members of the committee, it's an honor to testify here today. I lead the Baptist Joint Committee for Religious Liberty, which has worked from our unique faith-based perspective to defend religious liberty for all people for more than 80 years. I'm grateful to Dr. Farr and Dr. Fu for their presentations and agree that threats to religious liberty continue to be a pervasive problem around the world for people of all religions, including Baptists. Since our founding, the United States has been a world leader in protecting religious liberty. The American legal tradition protects religious liberty in a distinct way that has served our country well. Religious freedom is first protected in Article 6's prohibition of religious tests for public office, meaning that American citizenship is not contingent on one's theological views or religious affiliation. The First Amendment provides that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. No establishment means that the government's role in religion is limited. The government should neither promote nor inhibit any one religion or religion over irreligion. Instead, the government must be neutral toward religion and avoid interference. Free exercise also involves protecting against government interference. The government cannot target religious practices and, at times, must provide exemptions for religiously motivated practices. Our laws provide special solicitude for sincerely held religious beliefs, taking seriously and treating respectfully free exercise claims, but not granting automatic exemptions based on those claims. Maintaining America's leadership in defending religious liberty around the world requires that we attend to challenges at home as well as abroad. Today, I will highlight 5 current trends. First, we must restore our reputation in the wake of President Trump's statements against Muslims and travel ban policy. While the U.S. Supreme Court upheld the constitutionality of the administration's 3rd iteration of the travel ban, the harm to religious liberty remains, since the original order sent the un-American message that only certain faiths are welcome here. As Justice Anthony Kennedy warned in his concurring opinion, an anxious world must know that our government remains committed, always, to the liberties the Constitution seeks to preserve and protect, so that freedom extends outward and lasts. Second, we must acknowledge and address violence and rhetoric directed against religious minorities in the U.S. and abroad. Religious liberty can be threatened not only by government action, but also by the acts of private individuals and organizations. Hate crimes against religious minorities are on the rise. This is a global and domestic issue. Third, we must reject overreaching on religious liberty exemptions, which threatens widespread support for religious freedom. Some assert a right to exemptions of unprecedented breadth without recognizing the competing government interests or effects on third parties that must necessarily be considered in a pluralistic democracy. These represent a growing misunderstanding and sometimes willful distortion of the Free Exercise Clause. Fourth, Congress should address recent backtracking on religious liberty protection for social service beneficiaries. Government and religious organizations can partner in constitutional ways to deliver social services. There's been widespread bipartisan agreement on religious liberty protections for those seeking government-funded services. A beneficiary should receive a referral to an alternative service provider if she objects to the religious nature of the original agency and should have notice of these protections. In an executive order President Trump issued in May of this year, he struck these notice requirements. Congress should consider ways to restore these protections through legislation to ensure that no American is forced to choose between having her needs met and practicing or choosing not to practice her faith. Finally, beware of the use of the term religious liberty to promote bad policy. One such example is President Trump's campaign to destroy the Johnson Amendment, the provision in the tax law that separates partisan campaigning from 501c3 organizations. Every religious denomination to address the issue is united in their support for current law. Changing the law would fundamentally change their nonpartisan character, distract them from their core mission, and threaten their independence. Thank you, and I look forward to further discussion with you.
Thank you, and thank you to each of the witnesses for being here and for your testimony today.